Hi, I'm John Rivers, and today I'm going to show you how to tenderize pork ribs. Today we're talking about boneless pork ribs, and sometimes these are called country-style ribs. They're big, they're thick, they're meaty, but it's really nice and easy to eat because you can eat it with a fork because it doesn't have a bone in it. Now the only challenge is pork like this doesn't come straight off of the pig without the rib. You have to cut this and make it. Most country-style ribs are actually made from what's called the Boston butt cut from the pig. And even though it's called a Boston butt, it actually comes from the shoulder of the pig itself. And as you can see from here, it's just got a ton of fat in it and a big, huge piece of meat. Now to make a country style rib, I'll take this and we'll cut it into strips and then cut it into half. You can make them as thick as you like or as thin as you like, but I suggest when you're doing a rib, you want to keep it nice and big and thick. Now to tenderize a piece of meat like this, there's lots of different ways to do it, but with pork, I really like using a brine. And a brine is nothing more than simply water and salt. And you can drive tenderness from brine, and the other purpose of it is it drives a lot of flavor. So within that combination of water and salt, you can put any kind of flavoring that you like from different types of syrups and brown sugars, and turkeys will put sage and thyme and rosemary. But for today, we're going to make a nice sweet brine that has a lot of apple in it because apple and pork go great together. Like we mentioned before, brine is great for two things. It's going to tenderize your meat and it's going to drive a lot of flavor for you. Now the basic ratio for any brine that you use is 1 gallon of liquid to 1 cup of salt. Now I always use kosher salt because it's a big thick salt and it drives just a lot of flavor and impact. So I'm going to get a combination of liquids and before I put the salt in itself. And what I can do too is put a lot of different flavors into the meat by combining different sugars and different vinegars and other spices and herbs in the brine itself. So today for the pork, we're going to go with apple first, and I use about a cup of apple juice. And apple on pork is just great. They really complement each other and they mirror, and they bring out a lot of flavor and that sweetness in the pork. Now I'm going to put 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. You can use any kind of vinegar you like, but to me, the more apple that you're driving in, it brings out more flavor and it gives it some great tanginess. I'm going to put a half a cup of water in here. All right. I'm going to put a half a cup of kosher salt. I got 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, which gives it a nice rich deep flavor to it. Make sure you get all that salt in there. And I like sweet on pork, which also goes with the apple. So I've got a full cup of brown sugar. And I like brown sugar in particular with barbecue because it's a little bit more velvety and sweeter flavor to it. I'm going to mix it up really good, and that's important whenever you are doing a brine or anything that you're mixing in. Make sure you whisk it very, very well because you don't want any big clumps of flavoring. Okay, I'm going to take that brine. Okay, now all I'm going to do is submerge all of my meat into the brine. So I'm going to pour it into a big container here. And just simply take your meat and put it inside. Make sure it's covered completely. Now, and all you really need to do now is cover it. I put a little bit of cellophane on the top of it and put it in the refrigerator. With pork, these cuts like it is right here, you can probably put it in for about 4 to 6 hours and drive a lot of great flavor from it. And it's even better if you can leave it overnight. That's it. You're in great shape. All you need to do is tenderize and brine any of your pork that you have. It's going to come out succulent. And what brine does too is it sucks in all of the liquid and juice into the meat itself, so that when you're cooking it, it retains it and just produces a great, flavorful, moist product for you. So good luck with this at home. It's really easy to do. I know you're going to turn out great with it. But thanks for watching again. I'm John Rivers from Four Rivers Smokehouse.